Welcome to the Star Life TV channel. In this video, I will talk about the symbolism and creepy outfits of the participants at the opening ceremony of Eurovision 2022. On May 8, the opening ceremony of the 66th Eurovision Song Contest 2022 took place. This year the event was held in the Royal Palace of Venaria, located in the suburbs of Turin, Italy. On the opening day, the participants traditionally walked along the carpet, which at Eurovision is not red, but turquoise. Even before the start of the main part of the event, it becomes clear that the competition will be another overt frenzy. At the opening ceremony, the outfits of many participants were more than symbolic, and they themselves actively used well-known gestures. The hosts of the event were Carolina Di Domenico and Gabriele Corsi. During the ceremony, the host's hair periodically fell over one eye, thus emphasizing the symbolism of the all-seeing eye. All the contestants talked to the presenters, standing against the background of a pyramid-shaped structure. It consisted of separate columns, at the top of each of which was an inverted triangle, symbolizing the fall of the world. Representatives of Belgium were among the first to take the red carpet. The 5 members of the delegation were all dressed in black. Behind the ear of one of them, a butterfly wing earpiece could be seen, referring to the MK Ultra mind control program. Another symbol of this project is the huge chains that could be seen around the necks of the contestants. Soon, the representative of Montenegro, Vladana Vucinic, entered the red carpet. During the interview, the singer showed a gesture of 3 sixes. Artists from San Marino were next before the audience. Achille Lauro greeted the guests with a Baphomet gesture. Next, the Ukrainian rap group Kalash Orchestra appeared on the red carpet. Its participants were dressed in all black. In the ear of one of the musicians, one could see an earring in the form of a lightning bolt, which gives a reference to Lucifer. In the 10th chapter, 18th verse of the Gospel of Luke, it says, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." The main feature of the group was its member, covered with painted fabric. From a distance, it seemed that his entire body was covered in red tattoos. In general, he evoked associations with some kind of demonic entity. Further on a carpet path there were representatives of Latvia. During the photo shoot, the artist posed with his hand folded in a gesture of 3 sixes. He showed the same gesture during the interview. Representatives of Finland greeted the audience with a gesture of triumph of the devil. The musicians were dressed in all black. The outfit of the only girl in the group was no different from the guys, which emphasized the theme of gender blur promoted by the Illuminati. One of the soloists of the group wore a pendant in the form of a raven skull, symbolizing the devil himself, around his neck. He had black raven feathers sticking out of his head, which are used in black magic and the occult. On the jacket of another member of the delegation, one could see a brooch in the form of a spider. The spider symbolizes the demiurge, who wove the cover of illusion that hides the real world. The delegation from Iceland also greeted the audience with a gesture of triumph for the devil. They actively demonstrated the same gesture during the photo shoot. On the girls' necks, huge chains could be seen, giving a reference to the MK Ultra mind control program. On the t-shirt of one of the soloists was the inscription, "We are all people," while the letter M was painted in the colors of the flag of the LGBT communities. Thus, the theme of the promotion of sexual minorities was again emphasized. Representatives of North Macedonia were dressed in all black. During the photo shoot, the singer Andrea showed the gesture of the devil's horn. The artist almost constantly kept her fingers folded in this gesture. Israeli singer Michael Ben David took to the red carpet in a white suit with an image of 8 pointed stars in a circle. The same star was on his belt. This symbol is similar to the ancient sign of the Babylonian goddess Ishtar, who is the patroness of fertility and carnal love. Ishtar was identified with the planet Venus, which, in turn, is the personification of Lucifer. On the artist's head, one could notice strands laid in 3 sixes. The singer himself walked along the path, wagging his hips. And during the photo shoot he took feminine poses. All this clearly emphasized his belonging to the LGBT communities. The delegation from Bulgaria greeted the audience with a gesture of the devil's horn. During the photo shoot, the band members almost constantly showed famous gestures. One of the representatives of Denmark, going out onto the turquoise path, immediately demonstrated 3 gestures of the Illuminati. The girl folded her hand in the gesture of the devil's horn, squinted one eye and stuck out her tongue. The latter refers to the Hindu goddess of destruction, Kali. The same gestures of the artist demonstrated during the photo shoot. The girl's accessories were very symbolic. Around the neck of one of them hung an inverted cross and a skull. Another had a black inverted pentagram pasted under the right eye. During the interview, the singers continued to fold their hands in well-known gestures. Swiss singer Marius Bear was dressed in all black. During the photo shoot, the artist actively demonstrated the gesture of 3 sixes. Representatives of Romania were distinguished by an abundance of tattoos on their bodies. One of artists could see images of a skull and a huge diamond, which in gematria corresponds to the number 33. It is the highest degree of Freemasonry. The girl standing next to him had a pendant in the form of a snake around his neck, symbolizing the devil tempter himself. The ring on the finger of the lead singer of the group was also a snake. The singer from the Netherlands chose a very strange outfit in which she looked like a hunchbacked witch. Butterfly tattoos could be seen on her arm, referring to the MK Ultra mind control program. One of the most symbolic was the costumes of artists from Norway. The hosts called them guests from the moon. This phrase could mean that the performers belong to the cult of the same name of worship of the devil. In fact, the masks of the subwoofer duo resemble the ancient Egyptian god of the dead, Anubis. Interestingly, the artists never take off their masks and reveal their identities. They were accompanied by girls in faceless suits and an alien in a spacesuit. The costumes of the Eurovision participants from Georgia became no less symbolic. One of the guys had a bandage over his eye, which emphasized the symbolism of the all-seeing eye. The artists were accompanied by people in black overalls, reminiscent of the clothes of members of a secret society. During the photo session, representatives of Georgia actively showed well-known gestures. Singer from Great Britain Sam Ryder looked very symbolic. On his chest was a tattoo in the form of a pyramid with an all-seeing eye. Naturally, the camera constantly showed her in close-up. The artist himself kept his hands folded almost continuously in a gesture of triumph for the devil. Next, a singer from Spain, known under the pseudonym Chanel, entered the turquoise path. The girl was wearing a red and black dress, matching the favorite colors of the Illuminati. During the photo shoot, the artist, along with a support group, posed with her hands clasped in a gesture of 3 sixes. German singer Malik Harris also chose a red and black outfit for his first Eurovision entry. During the photo shoot, he showed the devil's triumphant gesture. Contestants from Italy were next before the audience. The guys greeted the audience with symbolic gestures. During the photo shoot, the rapper Blanco almost constantly kept his hands folded in the gesture of the devil's horns. At the same time, he squinted one eye, emphasizing the symbolism of the all-seeing eye. On the neck of the singer one could notice a tattoo in the form of snakes, symbolizing the devil himself. The boys were dressed in all black. At one of the moments, the contestants kissed for some reason. Apparently, this act was part of plans to promote LGBT communities. At the end of the red carpet, The Eurovision contestants were met by Laura Carusino and Mario Acampa along with the Eurovision organizers. Here the artists were given the opportunity to say a few more words. Naturally, many of them did not miss the opportunity to demonstrate well-known gestures. Departing from the turquoise path, the Eurovision participants found themselves inside the Venarius Palace. They passed through a huge hall into a closed room, where access to the cameras was closed. The chess floor, which is usually laid out in Masonic lodges, immediately catches your eye. It symbolizes the Illuminati unity of good and evil. There was a feeling that all the participants were following some kind of occult rite, which would take place inside the castle behind closed doors after the end of the official part of the event. In general, the opening ceremony of Eurovision 2022, positioned as a celebration of music, was more like a parade of symbols and preparations for a grand Sabbath. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Put likes.